Okay, welcome back. So in this video, we're gonna implement the dynamic carousel. Now, each card on the carousel is going to take all this information, or some of this information. That's the image URL, the image title, the image description, and the image category. Right. So those are the fields we need from, this response here. So we would have to create. Let's say we want our carousel to have 5 cards, right? So we'd have to create variables for 5 different cards. So we have image URL 0, title 0, description 0, category 0. Then you have image URL 1, title 1, description 1, category 1, and then image URL 2, and so on and so forth, right? So that's basically how we're going to tackle this problem. And yeah, let's start. Okay, so let's create our variables, right? So the set step, we can use that. So what we'll just do, click this. So create the first variable. So remember what we need. We need image URL 0. So that will be the first image URL. Then hit create variable. Then create another variable. That'll be image title 0. Create that variable. Then image description 0. Create that one. Then image category 0. Great. So you basically repeat this, right, for all the various images. So you have image URL 1, create, then you go again, image title 1, create the variable. So I think you get the point, right? So you can just skip this. Okay, so I have basically created all the variables that we need, right? So if I scroll down a bit, you can see them here, right? So image URL, title, description, category. So that is for the first image, then the second image, then the third image, fourth, and the fifth, right? Oh yeah, so yeah, and that's basically that about that, right? So now all these images all this information is what will get loaded on our carousel step, right? So now let's move over to, where's the carousel? Let's drag that out. Yeah, here it is, right? So again, we're gonna do the same things, just come here and then come here and then do image image URL 0, right? Then your card title, so that's image title 0, and then you have your description, and then your category, right? And then just come here and say image description 0, and then image category 0, right? And then you add another card, and then basically do the same thing, image URL, but this time 1, right? And then continue this way, right? So again, just fast forward things so that we can move forward. Okay, great. So I have added all the various variables that we would have for each card, right? So if you look at this for image 4, we have the image title, we have the URL in the link, right? Image URL 4, and then you have the image title 4, you have description 4, and then image category 4. So it's basically the same thing, just changing the numbers around, right? Pretty basic, right? So now the the next thing to do is connect this right to our API step, right? Now what needs to be done now is that we need to capture all that information, right? So far the get step is helping us get some information from our database, and we have created variables here, but we've not connected that information, or the result of the get response. We've not connected it to any of these variables as of yet, right? So that's what we're going to do now. So we can just come here to the capture response inside the get request block, right? So now okay, before I do that, right, if you hit send here, right, so what we already know that this in Voiceflow, the entire response here is saved into an internal variable called response, right? So if we want the image URL, so what we'll just say is response dot 0 then dot image URL. If we want the title, it will be response.0.image title. If we want, and that will just be for the first image. For the second image, we'll have response.1.image URL, response.1.title, response.1.image description, right, and so on and so forth. So that's what we're going to do now. So come here now to this, and now we can just say response.0.image URL. So we can set that this response to our image URL variable, right? Then we'll do another. Then we'll do response.0.image title, and then we set that again to image title 0. Good, right? So I can just copy this, right, and then come here, paste, and then we can just change this here to image description, right? And then we come here and say, come here and say image description 0. Good. Then we add another, and then we say response dot image category, right? And then we set the variable image category 0, right? So we repeat this process for all the other 4 images, right? So I'll do that now and just speed things up. Okay, great. So I've populated everything now, and now you can see response.4.image category equals image category 4, and that's basically what I have done for all the variables. Good. Now let's now go into the carousel itself and edit it one more time. No, I mean, let's test it out first. Let's test out the entire flow. Let's test the carousel first to be sure that it's working the way we expect it to. So we have the image, description, the category, and then you have your various. Okay, that's good. So those are your 5 cards in your carousel. Now let's try running the entire thing. Okay, let me close this first. Okay, good. Now let's try to run it now. Great. So we can see the images have loaded with the description and the category, right? So you have your 5 images working perfectly. Now, how do we make this dynamic so that we can always load more data from the database? So this is where the pagination I mentioned earlier comes in. So what we'll just simply do is close this first. So we'll create 2 new variables. Create two new variables. So the first variable we'll create would be current lowest, and then give it a default value of 0. So create that variable, and then we can create another variable. Let's do this. So we'll call that current highest, and then this would be 10, or no, let's set it to 5 since we have only 5 cards in our carousels. So set that to 5. Good. So now that we have the two variables, we will now come to our get request and then change our range here, right? So our range, instead of using 10, we just come here and use current lowest, right? Then current highest. Perfect. Okay, great. So now that we've done all this, all we need now is we need a means to be able to get more information from the database. Right now, if we run our flow, it will only be able to get three images, and that will be the end. So we can do this simply by attaching a button, right, to the last image, right? I'll just show you how that works. So we can just come here, add button, right? So we can label the button to be, say, get more, and then add a couple of actions. So the first action we want it to do is that we want it to set a variable. Our variable current lowest, set it to an expression, right? JavaScript expression, this. So instead of +10, we use +5, and then we set our current value again, our current highest, current highest. Set the current highest to an expression, and then instead of current lowest, set it current highest. Perfect. Right? So after we've set those values, we also need it to go back, right, to the get request, right, and then rerun this get request. So we'll come here as well. Let's come here, right, and then click on buttons again, create a new button. Sorry, not create a new button, sorry. We would go to this button label and then add another, sorry, that's an error. I'm in the wrong image. I'm in image title 2, right? I was meant to be in the last image, which is get more. So we just come here and edit get more, and then we add more actions. So now we'll go back to, so we'll go to a block this time. So we select the block, the workflow we want. The block is called block 1. So that's what we're going to do. Go to block 1, get more, and then we go to block 1, right? So now that we are in block, we've set it to go back to block 1. I think we're good now, right? So now we can run the entire flow. So when I run this, so you can see loads, and then in the 5th image you can see get more. Click on that, then gets more images, right? So now you can always run this and it will keep on loading more and more and more new images. So yeah, so that's basically how you do a dynamic carousel, basically, right? And yeah, that's it. I hope this video has been of good use and has been helpful. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you in the next video.